How do, and welcome back to Turf Moor House TV. I say welcome back because you've already had a match preview ahead of Sunday's Wolves game, but I didn't give away my prediction. No, I did not. We are waiting for tonight to give that, and fingers crossed we are going to get a positive result off the back of the Southampton win yesterday. I've got two cracking guests. First up, I will go with the usual suspect. I mean, he's pretty much in every police lineup. There he is, Christopher
again. Jesus Christ, twice in a night. That bloody repellent's not working, is it?
It's not. I can't help it. I'm just a boy always crying for his daddy. What can I say?
Sorry, I'll use Vaseline next time.
It hurts. It's just nappy rash. Deal with it. Chris.
Less than a minute on.
I know. You can't help yourself. You can't help yourself. I'll tell you something. I'm going to have to get some structure. Once this starts getting, once we get to the point of monetization, we might have to part ways, Chris. They might have to tone it down, boys.
Don't worry.
As I can see, though, from
you'll
the
down
T-shirt in the back.
Then.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. As I can see from the illustrious yellow T-shirt in the back, Chris, first and foremost, how the devil are you, sir?
I am not too bad. Still smarting from being able to concede a goal after 90 minutes. I have started a GoFundMe page to pay for the AFCON referees to come over, and I hope that might help us out. So if you want to go, just giving page. Sorry, just give it. If you want to go and support us, get the AFCON refs over to the Premier League page.
Oh, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. That'd be good. Give a shout out to your channels and give it a plug.
That'll be good. You've no idea what you're talking about.
Of course I do. I won't mind it. We've had a few late goals given against us, so don't worry about it. Go on, give it a plug.
Instagram, Leicester Till I Die 1. Twitter and Facebook. Well, Twitter's at Leicester TID. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die. YouTube, we're slowly growing. And it is Leicester Till I Die TV. Please go and give us a sub. And Leicester Till I Die on all your favourite podcast platforms.
Smashing. So as we say, please do go and check out Leicester Till I Die. We have got the link to Chris's YouTube channel in the description of the video. So please do go check them out. And also, we have another legend joining. We have another legend in as well, and we have Gatesy from Forged from Iron, West Ham fan and an absolute cracking fella. How are you doing, mate?
You sure you don't mean a leg end or some other end? I don't know.
When it comes to Chris, yeah.
All right, okay. No, just making sure. How you doing, mate? All good?
I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, well, I've made it to the weekend in one piece, although I'm actually working tomorrow morning. Never mind. Well, it's a case of having to, because I want to get sort of like some time off on Thursday for the Europa game that we've got at London Stadium. So, yeah, robbing Peter to feed Paul is what it is.
That's it. It's one of those. It's do or die situation. First and foremost, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming on tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a laugh, as always. I mean, mostly at probably my expense, because Chris can't help himself. But it is what it is. Rob, please do go and tell everyone where they can show some support to your channel.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're West Ham fan YouTube channel called Forged from Iron West Ham United to give us our full title on YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook, Forged from Iron West Ham United again. On Twitter, we're at Forged Talk. We're also on Instagram, Forged from Iron, and we've even got a TikTok page. It's Forged from Iron. So that's my daughter. That's down to her. I'm still getting my head around TikTok. It's all a little bit new age for me, but there you go. So yeah, if any of you guys would be minded to giving us a little bit of your support on the YouTube channel on any of our social media platforms, we'd be very grateful. Thank you very much.
Happy days. So yeah, as I said earlier with Chris, same with Rob's channel. Gates' link is in the description below, so do go check out their channel as well. Couple of comments in. The missus is in straight away as usual. I mean, she's literally just off camera, but she still, as always, is supportive. Loves getting the watch hours up. That's what I like to see. Nobody else watches. It's been a while since I wrote this, but help Daniel. Yeah, just help me. Help me. Honestly, I'm in a dark place.
Pay the ransom.
What you can see on camera is all above board, but I've got shackles on my legs and all sorts, and it's not in the kind I'd prefer.
If you need help, Daniel, if you want us to call the police, just do a thumbs up at some point, and we'll know. You don't have to say.
I'd like to order a pizza, please. I need to order a pizza. Help Daniel reach 400 mark. Yeah, we're only 10 away now from 400. Fingers crossed we'll grow. I know people don't like Burnley. If you don't like Burnley, then that's your opinion. However,
in the right colours.
Exactly. You'd think there'd be, a mass crowd coming in. Oh, look at Chris. Nah, wrong blue. Wrong blue.
That's terrible.
It's all right. He worked in Burnley for God knows how long, and then we kicked him out.
I'm still trying to get over the fact that we won the FA Cup in a claret shirt.
Hey, not wrong with that, Chris. Not wrong with that. See, it's
maybe
a good omen, that.
Yeah, maybe you need to adopt that as your kit.
No, and it wasn't purple, and I don't know what it was. It had a fancy name, but
maroon.
Oh yeah, maroon to Burnley is fancy.
Yeah, we've not got as far as macaroons yet. You have to go to somewhere posh to get that. But yeah, he's so close. Hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. Hit that notification bell if you can. Really does mean a lot. And Rich is in as well, saying, evening, gents, from the Over and Over and Over Again Arsenal podcast. Hope you are well, Rich. Evening to your bad self. So let's get this underway. Why not? Because we'll be here all night with Chris's jokes and all that shenanigans. Honestly, we've got lives, Chris. We've got lives.
You haven't. I remember. I know what you get up to. You haven't got a life. Your life is what Kate lets you have.
The face. The face. Oh, Chris, beware of a comment. Her fingers will be severely hot now as she sends in a
how
response.
You say this.
Yeah, don't worry. I know. I've learned that. Let's get into it then. So it is match week 34. And we have the fixtures coming up for this match week. Some teams have a double match week, however, some don't. But we'll get into the first game. And I'll come to you, Rob, as our guest. Arsenal, Manchester United at the Emirates. How do you see this one? Here's just a little bit of a run-in of how they've been recently as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking here. I've got it up on my monitor just in front of me. And Arsenal's Premier League form, lost one. So a very, very mixed bag. Obviously, they had a great result at Stamford Bridge. Manchester United's Premier League form, lost one, drew, lost one, lost. With obviously the last one being an absolute kicking at Anfield against their rivals Liverpool. They're two very, very up and down teams at the minute. I just think that home advantage might be the deciding factor. If I'm going to have to make a prediction, I'm going to go with an Arsenal home win. Scoreline of 2-1, I predict.
Interesting. Kate says, Chris, we are no longer friends.
Didn't know we were.
Oh, that's harsh.
And Rich, who obviously is an Arsenal fan, says 0-0 again. Would you take that? Let us know. Charles says, I thought that this was a Burnley FC channel. It is, but we're also doing Premier League content, so don't worry about it. And plus, we've got two decent sides in Claret and Blue this season. Well, in a bit of form anyway. The other set of Claret and Blues that are doing a bit naff. And Kate has gone for a draw. She's getting her predictions in, Chris, before you make yours, so she's not copying. So, however, in fact, Chris likes me to go over this. He likes me to explain who's in front and things like that.
You don't have to this week. No, it's okay. Carry on.
I don't have to do it this week.
Carry on. Nothing to listen to here, watch here. Just carry on. Move along.
So, in last place, I have myself currently on 43. The guests, which you are playing for, Rob, are sat on 49. Then Chris and Kate occupy joint at the moment, both on 54. So it's makes for a very interesting
goal difference
game week this week. Rob went for Arsenal, by the way.
You must have had a bad week then, Kate, because I only got 2 right all week.
She went, don't talk to me. Put her hand up like, don't talk to me. I'm getting the visuals here. I'm getting the visuals of her going, don't talk to me. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, Chris, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. Rich says a draw wouldn't be the end of the world, so he'd take that. Not a bad shout. Kate also says, since I'm in control of Daniel's life, once I've overtaken you on the Prem predictions, I shall be blocking you from all accounts.
About bloody time. I've been trying for you to do that all season.
Including Daniel's. So that's it. She's even banning you from all areas.
You do realise that.
What do you mean? I can't get through my day without Kate's 5 TikToks.
You know what's going to happen though. You guys will ban him from here. You know what he's going to do. He's going to come across the Forge and bug me. Don't do that. Come on.
Chris has got a drawer full of boxes and socks, and underneath all those like fake funny mustaches and glasses you can get in Crackers, just full of that. Like tit for tat bit under there, and be like, I'm not Chris. I don't know what you mean.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of it. Pool? What's a pool? Speaking of which, Chris, it seemed last week nobody wanted top 4. Arsenal clearly got a shit result against Southampton. And Manchester United obviously were expected a tonking off Liverpool. But how do you see this one faring?
Draw.
No, copying you now, Kate. It's copying you.
No, you said you wanted to keep it short tonight, so I'm saying draw.
No, I'm not keeping it that bloody short, Chris. Jesus Christ.
I can't win with you, can we? You said you wanted to keep it short, so I thought I'd go straight to it.
If I'd have said as short as Kate's temper, then I could understand.
Well, from earlier, yes, I agree with you. I mean, this one, and all joking aside, Arsenal, they can win 1, they can lose 4, they can win 2, they can lose 1. I mean, you just don't know where Arsenal are going this season. Man United, they're just shite. I mean, let's be honest with you. There's no other word for them. I mean, Ten Hag, if he's coming in, he's got one hell of a job on his hands. They've got to rebuild that club. And it isn't just by buying the big stars all the time, which they do, because they've got a team full of reasonably big stars, and look how shit they are. So this could well just be a 0-0, to be honest with you.
Oh, a draw for Chris then. Kate's fired back with, he ate my cream egg. Don't touch a girl's chocolate. He's lucky he's allowed to do this prediction show tonight. Yeah, I hold my hands up.
Is chocolate a euphemism for something?
You know, Chris, I ate a cream egg that was in a box, and it not the cream egg that's in a jar.
I know nothing. You told me.
I eat your cream egg though.
Yeah, go on, Chris. You answer that one first. I'll give you
the question.
How do you eat your cream egg? Because I think that says a lot about you as a person.
I don't like them.
That says a lot about, as you said, that says a lot about him, doesn't it?
If you read what made the yellow and white bits in the middle, you probably wouldn't eat them either.
Oh, you can't just leave that there. Come on.
Oh, come on. You've got to elaborate now.
No. I didn't. I saw the headline, but I didn't read the story. But I didn't like them anyway, to be honest with you. The mint ones are nice. They do mint ones. They're nice.
Yeah. As Kate says, and this is in regards to cream eggs.
Same.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you bite the top bit off, and then straight round, and then you're left with hot chocolate.
You two must have really happy wives. That's all I'll say.
Figure of eight. That's all I'll say. He knows the drill. Speaking of which, Chris, you might need one of them. Yeah, I don't know who to go for this one. You know what? I'm going to say Arsenal nick it. I'm going to go Arsenal nick this as well. I think, obviously, they've got to fight for that top 4 place. And Manchester United, what is it really going to be such an upstep announcing Ten Hag? Is it going to give the squad an uplift? I doubt it. If anything, I'm happy that it's announced because now all the United fans can crawl back in their, cupboard, piss off back to Narnia and go hard in until it all goes pear-shaped, and then they all come out the woodwork going, Ten Hag this, and next minute it's just, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm going for Arsenal myself for this one. Kate says, Daniel has a wife. Over that comment there. Yeah. Fiance's there. Wife's abroad. Don't know what other bit's doing. Out making the money. I'm just, you know what? I'm not even going to bring these up. I'm going to let you have your little spat and have your little conversation.
Can I just say, actually, I had to retype that because I first typed out, he says you moan like one. And I thought that
could be taken the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. So I quickly...
Or the right way.
Well...
What are you saying there? Why are you bringing me into this? What? Yeah, you brought me into it. Well, what are you on about? What do I say? You don't know. You're just being malicious. Yeah, exactly. You get used to this, Rob. With it, it ends up having a. Seriously. It's not. It's Chris. It's Chris. He brings the show down. But this is a learning curve for Christopher. This is a learning curve for Christopher. He needs to learn and adapt to the ways of life and how things work.
Oh, look, he's turned his camera off. He's got the ump. That's it. He's on strike.
So were Richarlison, 92nd minute.
Oh, that's harsh.
All right, I'm just saving all these up till they get relegated. Because we know what Burnley do. They win a game and then they'll lose the next 3.
Oh, here we go. Speaking of the next game, back to you, Rob. Leicester, Aston Villa. Now, just because the old guard is sat there, obviously wondering, be careful what you say. Yeah, how do you see this one going? It's strange, Leicester, aren't they? They can't seem to see a game out over 90 minutes.
No, and again, I'm just looking here at their form in the Premier League, and Leicester's is loss, win, draw, win, lost, draw. So it's all over the place there. There's no, they're consistently inconsistent, I think it's fair to say. Yeah. Whereas Villa's is 1-1, lost. And I've got a funny feeling it's going to be another L that's going to befall them. It will be Leicester 2, Villa 1, I believe.
They'll
actually hold on to a lead for a change at the final whistle.
Did you hear that, Chris? You'll hold on to a lead.
Yeah, well, we've been banned from having dogs.
You're going to have that AFCON ref.
Yeah, you fucking hell we do. Bloody hell.
Scott's in the chat. He says, hello, everyone. Hope you're all well.
Hello, Scott.
Hope you're well, Scott. Thank you for tuning in. Rich has gone for a Leicester 2-1.
Thank you, Rich.
Another Leicester result. Kate says, I've gone with Leicester, but hope Villa win. She likes to be. She's doing a now. She's doing a now in me Wolves preview. He's like, Wolves to win 2-0. And then he went, but I hope Burnley win. And I'm like, well, where are you going with that?
Because I think Barnsley.
We know where Niall likes to go, don't we? Let's be honest.
Is that right, Chris? That Vardy's very likely to be back in the squad, maybe not starting, but
possibly. And I think if he is fit, I don't want him to play because I hope that they save him for the. Yeah, you are, Kate. I'm not. Look at his family members. Earlier on, mate. Earlier on, it was embarrassing. I actually said I'd leave. I actually said they were having to go at each other. Now, I hope Vardy is saved for Roma and give him that extra few days to get him ready for that game. Have that said, if we're losing in the 93rd minute, they may bring him on. Who knows? Yeah, I'd sooner him not come on for this game. We've got 2 games a week, and yeah, if you're gonna use him against Roma. We'll need him more again. It doesn't matter whether we win or lose this. We're not going to get in Europe. We're not going to go down. So let's literally, let's put. We won't want to win every game, but let's put all our bags in the Europa. Sorry, all our eggs in the Europa basket. As long as it's not cream eggs, Daniel.
So I guess you're going for a Leicester win.
I was actually quite surprised when I looked at our league form. We've actually only lost 1 in the last 5, and it's not as bad as we think. But you look at Villa's, and it's lost like Rob said. It's 1 lost. But they did beat us in the first game earlier in the season. We have got a lot of our players back, and that's the main thing. We're not. We've sorted the conceding from corners. We've got that sorted out. We don't do that anymore. We've got, a lot of our injured players back. We just can't play past the 90th minute. So I just hope that, Leicester players do not go down. If you see a Villa player go, we might not see a Villa player go down because Grealish doesn't play for them anymore. But, of course, I've got it as a 2-1 Leicester win. This.
Oh, fair shout. As you say, Aston Villa have been poor. They have been really poor, and I want Leicester to win again. Similar reasons, like I wanted you to win against Everton. Aston Villa aren't really out of bringing themselves into this relegation fight, to be honest, if they keep going the way they are doing.
Well, yeah, that's true. If they do carry on losing, yeah. But
all it takes is the teams around you to pick up points, and then Villa are back in the hunt. We could see Gerard and Lampard trying to fight it out for that final place. Who knows? That would be interesting. Oh, that'd be a media's dream, wouldn't it? Sky Sports and everyone, they'd all be like,
last day shootout.
Oh, they'd love it, wouldn't they? They'd love it. Good old Slippy G. This does not slip now. Big John's in. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well, John. And Scott says Villa will be fresh, but will they be match fit? It could go either way. If Brendan puts out a team that are pressing the game, we'll be won in the first half. But if not, we could be in for a rough game, 2-2. You know what? I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to go for a Leicester win. I think
See, Scott, that's why you do it.
Conceding like you did, against Everton, this could be the game where you sort of go, right, that doesn't happen again. That does not happen again. And you sort of rally the troops. And you know what? I won't be surprised if this is quite an high-scoring game.
There's a couple who went for 3-2. One of the who was it? Ian Wilson, the ex-player, went for 3-2. Craig went for 3-2. The scary thing is that had Ricardo managed to block that ball for the last, because he was going in on the defender, had he got there, he'd have probably given away a penalty because he was sliding in completely recklessly. So anyway.
Scott says I'll give it the kiss of death.
Yeah,
Rich asks a good comment, a good question here. Sorry, he says, "Are Gerard and Lampard 2 of the worst Premier League managers ever?"
No,
Les Reed. Remember him?
Peter Taylor,
Bob Bradley.
Yeah, Peter Taylor.
Avram Grant.
Peter Taylor. Okay, I tell you what, if we're going to go, let's go a bit further back. Fran McClintock.
Was he a Premier League
He was he was not Premier League. He was top division, but yeah, we had him just after Mr. Jimmy Bloomfield, and he destroyed that team.
I'd say Gerard hasn't really been given much of a sniff yet, really. He's still in his first season at Villa. Lampard, however, has had a stab at Chelsea. He got lucky with a job with Derby because at the time, Mel Morris were chucking money at it. And they were close. But
I don't think he did too bad at Chelsea, you know. And that first season, he couldn't buy players. He brought the youth team players through and he got them into the Champions League. Unfortunately, had that been at any other club, Paul Joel, Scott, that's Paul Joel. Had he been at any other club, they'd have probably said, thank you very much.
I agree with that comment.
Chelsea, that wasn't good enough, was it?
No, it's never good enough. I mean, look at Di Matteo winning their first Champions League in ages, and then he got the boot not long after. So
you can't imagine clubs sacking a manager that wins them something like that within the next season, can you? I mean, Leicester would never do that.
I agree with what Rich is saying there. Considering the hype, I think, yes, probably are overrated. But yet when Gerard went away, you know, lost the name tag and thought of, right, I'll go as a manager and I'll just be Gerard the manager, not Gerard the player. However, Lampard has lived off his name, in my opinion. You know, it's the fact that when he took the Derby job, it wasn't Derby County anymore. It was Frank Lampard's Derby. You know, it was the name that stuck. So for me, yeah, I think they are overhyped. However, the worst, potentially not. Scott says, to be fair, if Villa and Everton get to the last game of the season and both need a win to survive, without my money on Villa to survive, Gerard has a bit more about him in manager terms. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd agree with that. So yeah, full house for this then. Full house. We've all gone Leicester.
Not bad.
All gone Leicester for this one, which means Villa will probably win.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
So moving on to the next one, and well, shall we just call another full house and
Well, you don't think Watford are going to pull off a shock then?
I don't know. I mean, let's have a look at the stats, shall we? Let's have a look at how drastically dreadful Watford have been. Rob, I mean, I thought they'd be a little bit better under Roy. And the first couple of games, they showed it. You know, the new manager bounce or whatever. They got, you know, they came. We rolled out the welcome mat and said, "Welcome to Turf Moor. Have your first away point and a clean sheet." However, they have been poor, and well, Man City have got something to fight for still, haven't they?
Massively. I mean, again, looking at the Premier League form for both teams, Man City, it's 1-1 drew, 1. Watford, it's lost, 1, lost. I can only see one result here. It's got to be a home win. I mean, as you say, Roy did come in and give them a bit more of a defensive structure, which you knew he was going to get them organised and all the rest of it. Because if you look at all his career, that's what he's done. He always goes in, he gets them organised defensively. I mean, 6-0. Oh wow! I mean, I remember I think they played 2-3 seasons back, and I think it was 7-0 in the league, and I think
Scott's gone big.
Yeah, they got done 6-0 in the FA Cup final a few years back as well. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as that, but I'm going 4-0 City.
4-0 City. Chris, your affiliation with Watford is renowned around the world. It is common knowledge your love of hatred.
You're not a fan of Elton John?
Yeah. Oh, he loves to hate Watford. Loves to hate them.
And Norwich.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't just put it on the one club.
Like I said on many occasions, I have nothing against Watford. I have nothing against Norwich. I have nothing against the fans. The clubs that it's the owners, and unfortunately, I think the fans of both teams deserve better. You know, Watford again have come up. they've got a manager who's got them up. They've got a manager who's got them sat in, I think it was about 12th position, and it's not good enough for them. They sack him.
Yeah.
And what did they then do? They then thought, I know, we'll go and get an ex. We'll get Claudio Ranieri because he got Leicester the Premier League, forgetting last season that he virtually took Fulham down. I mean, if you've got an IQ, you can't get a job at Watford. You've got to be as thick as pig shit to be able to get onto that board, and that's how they.
Big Rich is in.
That's the problem with Watford and Norwich, to be honest with you. But Watford definitely. That said, I was absolutely disgusted with the Manchester City fans at Wembley.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I was absolutely disgusted with the Man City. I was Steve Linux, who does ex-player that does our prediction show. He actually went for Watford on the strength of this. I think they were disgusting. The referee at Wembley had to end the minute silence early. You then go to Liverpool, and the applause in the 7th minute for Ronaldo and commiserations to him and everything. But the way the Liverpool fans did that, I mean, it was Klopp was clapping, the whole ground was clapping, and obviously it was at Anfield. And then as soon as that finishes, Man United apparently, I didn't realise this, but Man United started singing some very sick songs about the 96. And you're thinking, maybe it's Manchester. Maybe it's just Manchester. You've got to be a moron to live in Manchester. I mean, that two clubs there that are totally, totally sick. I'm sorry. I really hope Watford can do a job on Manchester City. I'd love them to go now to Manchester City and give them a good kicking. But of course, it's not going to happen, and that's the sad thing. So my head is saying Manchester City, but my heart wants Watford to really go and put the boot into them. Chris Varian, use at 10. Paul.
Fair enough. As you said there, couldn't have put it any better. Manchester City absolutely romp home in this fixture. If Watford get anything out of this, then I swear, expect a couple of Liverpool fans to be changing their profile pictures to pictures of Roy, or to Agent Roy. They'll have him back in the Liverpool dugout on their profile pictures in no chance.
Indeed, they
no
will.
time. Sorry. So yeah, full house Manchester City for this one. On to the next one, and well, it's not going to work if I do that. But another one of Chris's favourites, and Rob, Norwich. Okay, they got the win against Burnley. Since then, was, to be fair, stuck another 2 past Manchester United. It's just that, Cristiano Ronaldo was on form that day.
Yeah.
If you catch Ronaldo on form, there's nothing you can do about it. Newcastle, however, going about their business quietly and sneaking up the table, could still even make a top half finish.
Yeah, just looking here, they're in 11th place, 33 played, 40 points on the board, which at the turn of the year, I mean, I looked at them and thought, wow, they're in a lot of trouble. I know they had a lot of money at their disposal, but that doesn't guarantee anything. But they've utilised those funds. They've recruited wisely. I mean, Kieran Trippier came in and he scored a few goals from right back. They've just been galvanised by Eddie Howe, and they've done well. I mean, you look at their Premier League form, their last 6, they've won 3. They've also lost 3 as well. So they're a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team within that run. Norwich, well, in their last 6, 4 defeats, 1 win, 1 draw. I don't know. I mean, they did well against Manchester United, and there's a little part of me that thinks they might be able to scrape a draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1, interesting. So Gates has got this one down as a draw. Chris, can you see Norwich getting a draw? I mean, it is that business end of the season where teams that are scrapping for the life now start to, not even think about how the rest of the season's gone. It's all a case of what happens now, and let's make a mark from this point forward. Have Norwich got that in their back catalogue?
It appears so. I mean, they put 2 past you guys. They were, extremely unlucky against Man United. Like you said, Man United not got Ronaldo this season. I think they'd be where Norwich are. I mean, Newcastle, I was impressed, with Newcastle when we played them. They've got a great manager. Like I said, obviously, I saw a lot of Eddie Howe and what he did for Bournemouth. So what he might do with a bit of money, it's scary, to be honest with you. They've got good owners. They're not going to be sort of rushing into anything. They're taking it, baby steps. But they're also susceptible at the back. I mean, I suppose I hate Newcastle now, obviously after the last game, but Newcastle and a lot of the Newcastle fans were saying, and they know they're safe now. And I think they were safe before they beat us, to be honest with you. But you can see that the one team, when they're at home, and I know they got stuffed by Tottenham away. They even lost to Everton away. So it's the away form that lets them down. Norwich, they are fighting for their lives, and people may be shocked. That may shock people. Who could that be, Kate? Who could that be? I can put it in the chat if you want. I've got this as a Norwich win.
A Norwich win. Interesting. Interesting. So we've got a draw, a Norwich win. Kate's gone for Newcastle. Basically, who do I double up with here? Whose team do I join?
It's got to be
do I get splinters up my arse with Rob?
If you've got any sense, you'll partner with Kate.
Yeah, that's the safest option, I think.
It is, but
if you don't, you know what she'll do? She'll get your toothbrush and she'll clean the rim of your toilet.
Oh no! To be honest with you, I've done shite. As I say, I'm bottom of the pile. Even Kate's doing better than me. I don't know how, why, or what. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna go. You know what, Gatesy? I'm gonna.
Katie. Oh, that's dangerous as well.
No, I said Gatesy, not Katie.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna go with you, mate. I'm gonna go for a draw.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go for a draw. Kate, Chris
you
went
can
for a
blame me if it goes wrong, Dan. Don't worry about it.
Chris went for a Norwich win, and obviously you went for Newcastle, just in case you forgot that as well. Scott says, I'm sure Danny's used to being in the doghouse, or preferably in his corner. Yeah, true. That is true. And don't at me. Honestly, that's my corner to do that in. Mella says, ask Chris if he thinks that Fulham will go down. They've got promoted, so do you think they're going to be another yo-yo?
It's looking that way, isn't it? That said, they've got a manager there that's got Premier League experience. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. And you missed what I said about Watford, Mella. So you're gonna have to watch this back and see what I said about Watford. And I've just went for a Norwich win, so I can spread it about.
All we'll say is, Mella, head or heart.
I don't know. But I mean, Fulham, you'd look at it and you've got to say on past experience, yes, they will. But depends who, what happens with all the other teams.
No, that is true.
If Burnley or Everton stay up, but don't, make any sort of, good signings or start to get things right, Fulham could stay up at their expense.
Yep. Very much so. Now says Dan, who's winning on predictions, UK or is it the guests? Completely ruling you out there, Chris, isn't it? He's not even give you a mention on that. However, no. Kate and Chris are tied at the moment.
We don't know
ahead of this game week. So we will see if anybody claims the upper hand by the next time. Don't worry, Chris. Our fans are waiting for next season. That's what Miller had to say.
You'll probably come back up and then you'll just go straight back down again until you get some decent owners. And I feel sorry for you, Miller. You deserve better. Just get rid of them bloody arsehole owners that you've got.
Bring back
Sorry?
It's still the Pozzos.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they'd have stuck with the manager that brought them up, you may have stayed up. But there we go.
There we do. We digress. On to the next one. And Brentford back at the Community Stadium. And they host Spurs. Rob, how do you see this one faring? I mean, Brentford have been better at home. You know, they like to see out a game in the last 5 minutes. Pretty much it's where the only time they start playing football. Spurs are Spurs.
We're not going to play them.
Spurs are Spurs. You don't know what Spurs you're going to get. You're going to get either a Spursy performance or a Conte performance.
Yeah. Again, looking at their Premier League form, to be honest, they're really in good form, the pair of them. Brentford have won 5 of their last 6 with 1 defeat. Tottenham have won 4 of their last 6 with 2 defeats. I think there's goals in this one. I think this could be a real... It could be one of those end of season games. You know that you usually get a game at the end of the season that's a little bit of a entertaining game that you maybe didn't see coming. You sometimes get them. I'm going to go Brentford 3, Tottenham 4.
Ooh.
I think that's a 7-goal thriller coming.
It is. So you're going for Spurs to nick it?
And that really does stick in my throat. But I just got a funny feeling that Spurs are just going to have a little bit too much for them. But it's going to be a really entertaining game, I think.
No, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Kate's gone with Brentford, being the home side. Niall says, I know, Kate, typical me. I'm a regular and I should be knowing this. Now, it's put the beer down. It's killing your one brain cell. Kate says, I think they'll both score, though. Not fair shout. Scott says, Brentford win and Ericsson to shine. Fair enough, yeah, definitely. Chris, how do you see this one? I mean, Spurs, on the back of the Brighton defeat, they were poor. They could not get into the game whatsoever. For a full 90-plus minutes, they had 0 shots on target. They're going to need a pick-me-up result. Can you see it being against Brentford?
No.
No.
I think you look at Spurs' results there, and they beat Brighton, they beat some London team that plays in Claret, they beat Newcastle, they beat another team that plays in Claret, and then they lost to Brighton. And that's how Spurs seasons have gone. They have these good spurts of wins, and then they go and lose one. Brentford, based on the last 6 games, are actually second in the form table. Just take a minute to think that in. Liverpool are first, Brentford are second, Manchester City are third. Brentford have got 15 points from their last 5 games. The last 6 games. They've won 5 and lost 1. Now, that is great form, and it's great form that they've just come in at the right time. They're safe. They're not going to go down. I think I certainly said at the start of the season I wanted Brentford to stay up because I like to see these teams, even if Watford and Norwich could ever get decent owners and do it and stay up, it would be great. They've got different teams doing that. I've actually gone for a draw on this one because Tottenham are just totally you don't know where they're going to go. Like I say, they can win or lose depending what mood they're in. But Brentford are just on fire at the moment, but it's at Brentford, isn't it, as well? And like I say, you can't argue with that. 15 points from the last 6 games, and the good thing with Brentford is they've been beating teams around them. So they've got that sort of 8 games to go, 7 games to go, mid-table security. They know they're not going to go down, so they can just go out and enjoy it. And can't you just see Ericsson coming on and scoring against Tottenham?
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. It's like I've said a few times, though. I think the reason why Eriksen's been sort of shone is because with everything that's gone on, people are standing off him a little bit.
Yeah.
They're too scared to sort of now put in a challenge and things because they don't want to be the one to potentially, hurt him. Yeah. Let's not bat about it. Nobody wants to be the one that kind of kills him. So, in a nutshell, we've seen it this season. Brandon Williams at Norwich fell over the top of him, picked him up, and we're like, "Sorry, mate, you're all right." Anybody else and anywhere else on that pitch, get up, you prick, get up, go on your feet, dickhead, and that's it.
Yeah.
But because it's him, it's all like, oh, brilliant, you're my new best friend.
The rumours are that all like the Tottenhams and the Arsenals, what have you, going to be looking at him at the end of the season, Eriksen, and I would love him. Love it. I'd love it, as Kevin Keegan would say, if he decides, like, sod off the lot of you didn't want me before, I'm going to stay with Brentford.
No, I think you're spot on. I think you're spot on with that sort of sentiment. I think Spurs in this game are going to be looking at this and think, right, the first game of the opening game of the season, it was Brentford-Arsenal. Brentford beat Arsenal. Do we want to be beaten by these as well? Because Spurs are just forever wondering about the Arsenal results. Can we better Arsenal's result against this team? Can we do this? Can we do that? For that reason alone, they'll be going into this game with a different mindset. I'm going to go Brentford as well. I'm going to go Brentford to win this. So just with them being at home, I can just see it, especially when you look at the last game against Brighton. Brighton held them out, played some really good football against them, and then sucker punched them at dying minutes. Brentford could do that. We all know what Brentford are like in the dying minutes. So who's to say they couldn't spring an attack and kill the game off? So yeah, for that reason alone, I am going to go Brentford. Kate did say I initially put a draw and changed it to Brentford. But I do know that she did put her stuff down on the predictions prior to us starting. So don't. She's already told us about it. She's already told us about it before it's happened. So we can let her have that one. Although if Chris gets beat by one now, I'm sure he'll hold that against her. I'm sure of it.
I'm saying nothing.
Well, they say an elephant never forgets.
They also say an elephant's got a long one. So, I mean...
Speaking of which, Brighton, Southampton, two teams on, well, opposite course, shall we say. I mean, it's pretty much along the same course line, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
two teams that are probably on the beach, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob, how do you see this one? To be fair, I've just twigged with what you said, and I'm just going to make it look like I knew what I know what I'm on about.
Well, looking at, again, I like to look at the form. Brighton's form: lost, draw, 1-1, lost. Southampton's lost, draw, lost, 1, lost. So not too much there that you can infer. One of them, they're not sort of like one's in brilliant form, one's in crap form. They're sort of much of a muchness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brighton have only won 3 of their home Premier League games, though. I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, bloody hell, they've drawn an awful lot of games.
They are.
Southampton, I'm not taking anything away from your boys. You got the 3 points against them the other day, and you deserved it. Southampton were crap.
They were awful.
Absolutely shocking. And like I say, they played like a team that's on the beach. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Southampton 0.
Oh, Brighton win. You're with Kate saying a Brighton win.
I think they're just going to nick it.
Chris Welch is in. He says, evening, lads. Hope you're well, Chris. Evening to yourself. Hope you're having a good Friday night. I mean, you sat watching me, so clearly not. Chris, how do you see this one faring? As Rob alluded to there, Brighton have been poor at home. So many draws. You don't know. As I say, look at that. You don't know what Southampton you're going to get. They get rolled over by Chelsea. They turn up and nick a 1-0 against Arsenal, and then again go back to how they were against Chelsea. They just didn't turn up at the turf yesterday.
Throw into that, they lost to Watford. It's if Southampton had not had the start that they had, they would be again in the mix for going down again, because their recent form has been absolutely terrible overall. And that said, so had Brighton. I mean, Brighton, go back a couple of weeks and Brighton were 20th in the form table. That's how bad Brighton were. And I mean, looking at it now, I mean, Brighton are, where are they? I mean, Brighton are actually 14th in the form table. Southampton are 19th. So, I mean, it's not exactly going to be the most exciting of games, this. Both teams, if they had good starts, then, then they both had really bad runs. I'm going for a Brighton one. I'm going for a Brighton win here.
Brighton win.
Just because Southampton are just absolutely awful and it's away from home, and yeah.
Oh, interesting. Scott says Brighton win for him as well, jumping on the Potter wagon, which means otherwise you mean the Hogwarts Express. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna go straight down the middle, splinters up the bum. I'm going for a draw. I'm going to go for a draw. I think they'll both cancel each other out. It's almost like neither team will want to lose, but neither team can be asked pushing for a win either. Probably last on match of the day potentially. So yeah, I'll call it I'm going to say even give a scoreline. I'll say a 0-0 draw. That's it. It'll be first game 1-0, 2-0. Goals going in. Chris Welch has given all his predictions. 1-1 for Arsenal, Man United. Leicester 1-1. Man City 6 against Watford. Newcastle to beat Norwich. Tottenham to beat Brentford 2-1. And Brighton Southampton 1-1. So far, so good. So moving on to the next one. And we have the one of the decent teams in Claret this season alongside yours, Rob. Well, I say in the last couple of games.
Says different.
Yeah, the last couple of games, should I say? I should have rephrased that. But yeah, Burnley against Wolves again. Two teams that are both trying to fight for something. Burnley trying to get out of the mire. Wolves fighting for a European place. However, they've hit a bad vein of form at the moment.
I'm looking at this. I think that this is a game that you boys should be rubbing your hands at, because I think you've caught Wolves at a good moment. I think their form's been a little bit patchy. You've obviously waved goodbye to Sean Dyche, and obviously we discussed it last week, Dan. Obviously, everybody's sort of like default reaction was what's going on, but Mike Jackson's come in and he's got 4 points out of his the 6 game points that he's had available. I think this has got 3 points for Burnley written all over it myself. I'm going to go 2-1 Burnley.
Nice one, Rob. Love that. Kate's gone for a Burnley win. I mean, yeah, you and me both really want this to be a Burnley win. And I'm sure deep down, Chris, you'd want the same too, due to your lovely affiliation with the town.
Affliction.
You don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit it.
Affliction. Again, I mean, the fact that it's at Turf Moor.
Well, Doug.
The fact that it's at Turf Moor makes a big difference. Wolves are in 7th in the form table on the last 6. Burnley are actually up to 12th in the form table. So well done, Burnley. You're only 1 point behind Leicester on the last 6 played. So, yeah, I think Rob summed it up. This is a good time to play Wolves. And I've said this so many times this season about Burnley, and I hope that for once they're going to get it right, because, when you beat Everton, I said that, if you're going to lose the next game, Norwich, that's not going to mean sweet Fanny Adams.
Yeah, the Everton game meant nothing after that.
No, it didn't, because you lost to Norwich, and it's like, now you've got rid of Sean Dyche, and only time will tell. I mean, I saw Alan Pace had put a thing out saying, the reasons why he had sacked him. I still think it was a strange decision so late in the season.
He was at the game yesterday as well, Chris. He was at the game.
Yeah.
He was also, from what I've heard from people, that in the hospitality suite, he was the guest to have like a 20-minute Q&A with, and people pelted their questions at him left, right, and centre. They've come out and he's come out and said that after the Everton result, he he'd been speaking to a friend of his who's been working in China, who was willing to put 100 million investment into the club. However, when he saw the result at Norwich, he sort of hesitated. So they said they'll revisit things at the end of the season. The situation with Dash, he said there's been no problems. They're still friends. They talk all the time. In fact, in the next week or so, he's due to go and sit down with a meal, which means he's probably going to sit down and try and thrash out the compensation package in my eyes. But yeah, it's, he said all the right things. He said all the right things. I don't know whether that's because you're amongst a bunch of Burnley fans and didn't want to get lynched, but who knows?
What I read, he said, look, like you say, he's still getting on with Sean Dyche and everything, but at the end of the day, if they go down, they'll be singing Doug. If they go down, they'll be shouting for the board to go. And you mentioned earlier about none of the players are coming out and backing Sean Dyche, which was extremely questionable. Because normally they come out and back the managers when they've just been sacked. I'm going to risk this, and I'm going to say a Burnley win. If you don't, then I'm totally giving up on you, and I'm going to say you're going to lose. I'm going to predict a loss for you every game for the rest of the season. And this is the third time I've gone and said, right, we've won a game, now kick on from here. And you haven't, as in, Everton and Norwich. So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm giving you one last chance, Burnley. One last chance. And if you don't do it, then go down and join Watford and Norwich.
Oh, Chris Borin has spoken, Burnley. Christ, he's set the challenge. He's set the bar high.
Indeed.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that at full time? You managed to get the win over Wolves today. How do you feel? Elated? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm just... The fact that Chris Borin said that, we'd be down if we lose this game.
It's his team talk. But no, you know what I mean, though. Seriously. Yeah. You know what I mean.
I do.
There's no point. And unless I've going to say this, but Leicester this season beat Liverpool, we're going to kick on. We didn't. Beat Man United, we're going to kick on. We didn't. And it's the same with Burnley, but we're not, fighting relegation. You are. And you've got to start putting a couple of wins together. Otherwise, what is the point? Because I tell you what,
I agree.
Everton didn't play that badly against us. But they have got.
I think they did. I think it was a case of you let them play a little bit once you got the goal.
I mean, Everton could only play who they were up against, and they didn't collapse going 1-0 down. I mean, 1-0 after when you're Everton with what your season you've had and where you were, and you go 1-0 down at home after 5 minutes. I was sat there thinking this is going to be 4 or 5. And it wasn't. All right, maybe that was our bad shooting, but no, you've got to start winning something. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time turning up to play a game.
No, I agree. Going on Scott's comment, Burnley seems to be playing the same way as when Dash was there. Sort of, but sort of not. The players have been coming out, and the word that's been banded around quite a lot, which we're hearing, is the word freedom. And I think it's the fact that we've been allowed to sort of be a bit more expansive. We've been playing with the ball on the floor. We've actually been playing some football in the last 2 games. I mean, you only have to look at that West Ham game. We barely even knocked the ball over the top, apart from probably the dying 10 minutes of the game where we decided to thought, sod it, anyone for a game of head tennis. But, at that point, we have started to put a few things together, and I think the players feel a bit more at ease because they're allowed to do a little bit of what's in their locker, where Dash was almost telling them to, stay reserved and, do what I'm asking. So I do think we've been allowed to sort of loosen the leash a little bit and allowed to do something a bit extra, which is great because you don't want to completely change the system. You just want to tweak it. And I think that's what Mark Jackson has done. So fair play to him. And for me, I don't want an interim till the end of the season. I think we give it to Mark Jackson, Paul Jenkins and Ben Mee until the season's out, and then look at the calibre of managers that will be interested in Burnley if we are still a Premier League club.
Who do you want?
I'll tell you who I want, who I really, really want.
Tell me.
I want
to... Zig, hi. Join in. Come on, Rob. Join in now. Come on. We know you're a Spice Girls fan.
I won't mind Wilder, but he's pretty much ruled himself out today by declaring that he's all in at Borough. So the guy from Bordeaux Glimt is interesting. Kjetil Knutsen.
Serious?
Yeah. Kjetil Knutsen is quite high up on the odds as well. I mean, Bordeaux Glimt looks set to be relegated from the division. He came in, he kept them up. The season after, he won the league, and he's on course to do back-to-back league titles. So with a very young squad, so it's a risk. It is a risk, but it's always a risk with any manager. As I said, when Dash walked through the door, I thought, Burnley, cheap option. This guy has no managerial experience, hardly. And,
these managers have to be given a trial somewhere. Don't they have to start somewhere?
No, they do. As Niall said, guys, if you're still in here and you haven't subscribed to the channel or checked out these two legends here as well, their channels are in the description of the video, so please do go show them some love and support. But yeah, please do smash the like button and the subscription button as well. Really does mean a lot for all our channels. Kate's asking, Doug, is everyone getting a little joke book for favours at his wedding? Not long to go now. I think 3 weeks. Is it, Doug, if you're still in?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Chris says if Burnley win, then you have to question why the players didn't do it for Dash. It may just be the fact that it's gone stale, as people were saying. You know, tactics can go stale. Players don't want to just be playing the same lumping up field and head tennis for the rest of their careers. You know, especially when you've got people like Alan Shearer campaigning to get headers pretty much knocked out of the game because a lot of footballers are ending up with dementia and things like that. So without getting too deep into it, you know, yes, I understand the sentiment. Why didn't they do it for Dash? But if anything, what they need to do now is, if it was all about Dash and his football being stale, lace up your boots, prove a point that you can keep this club up if that's what you've wanted. If you've wanted Dash out so you can be more expansive and you've had your little player revolt, I'm not saying that's what's happened, but the rumour mill's open at the moment, then lace up your boots and keep us up. Simple as that. Doug says, haha, no, Kate. He says, I've deleted all the German contacts from my phone. It's hands-free.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, you're just as bloody bad. So this bloke says to me, can I come in your house and talk about your carpets? I thought, that's all I need. Terrible.
I'm here all week. But no, what you're saying about managers talking football for a change. I mean, look at Wenger at Arsenal. He became stale. You know, and
everything has its time, doesn't it?
Exactly. And managers as well. I mean, you look at Mourinho. When how good was he when he first came to the Premier League? But now that style of manager doesn't work. You know, can you imagine Fergie going into any dressing room these days and kicking, you know, tables around?
You say Fergie. There was something I was listening on the radio, and they made a really good point. Fergie was obviously at Manchester United all those years. But look at his number twos. He changed them quite regularly.
Rather not, if you don't mind.
No. But what I'm saying is, when he first went there...
I'll get in touch with NHS and ask for it. Can I have Sir Alex Ferguson's stool sample, please?
My future son-in-law works at the hospital.
His assistant, his coaching. he had Archie Knox when he first went there. He had Brian Kidd. He had Steve McLaren, Carlos Queiroz, Mike Phelan,
Rennie Mullenstein.
He often changed his assistant coach, didn't he? You know, he would often. So although the guy at the top was the figurehead, and like, you know, he was always the constant, but he'd always freshen it up underneath. And I think that I sort of sat back and I thought, do you know, that's a really good point, and maybe that's why he lasted so long, because he kept freshening it up every now and then.
True. New ideas and things like that.
To be honest with you,
new ideas and stuff like that. Speaking of relegations, Barnsley have been relegated to League One. It has been confirmed, so I'm guessing Huddersfield won tonight. I'm guessing so anyway. Chris Welch says Chris Wilder is a good manager, but he's a demented cuckoo, always waiting for a job to become available. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, when he did a good job with Sheffield United. I mean, he were a Sheffield boy, weren't he? So it was decent. It was a home from him, and he's doing a really good job at Borough. You know, since Warnock stepped aside, he's come in and sort of steadied them a lot more. So who knows? Doug says it's 10 weeks tomorrow until he's married, and then mentions his missus. I'd hate to be a dragon. I'd get so angry blowing out my birthday candles. Shocking. Oh, Chris, he can't help himself. The school had a big problem with drugs, especially Class A.
I was in the pub the other day and a bloke comes up to me and says, "What's the difference between ignorance and apathy?" And I said, "I don't know and I don't care."
I like that one.
Rob, that was the highlight of the show for me.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. You know what? And as Doug said it, go on, Chris, give us a press. There we go.
You just like me pressing my buttons, don't you?
I do. If I can't press them, then I'll get you to press them yourself. I'm going to go for Burnley as well. I've got some optimism that we'll do it. Being back at Turf Moor, as I say, and I'll be at the fixture on Sunday, so knowing my luck, we'll probably do shit. So hopefully we'll get the win, but yeah, I'm going to go for Burnley myself. So on to the next one, and it's Rob, it's your boys. The pensioners versus the Hammers. I mean, we've seen it in London. A couple of pensioners like to, have been robbed and, a few hammered to the head.
Welcome
however,
to London.
Back in London for ya. How do you see this one going? I mean, it's not far to travel. I mean, it's still an away day, but
yeah, we've not got a brilliant record in London derbies this season. It has to be said. We've got injury problems, obviously, with Zuma out, Ogbonna out, and now Diop, the third one out. So is it going to be that we're going to have to change formation and go 3 at the back? Well, every time we've played it this season, when I've been watching, we've been poor when we've had 3 centre backs. So are we got who's going to play as the extra centre back alongside Dawson? And I've kind of resigned myself to the fact it's probably going to be Declan Rice. I mean, look, it's either going to be Declan Rice, Thomas Souček, because he can play there. He's played there before for the Czech Republic. It could be Ben Johnson. And the only other option really is Alex Crowell, but he's barely played this season. So I can't see that that's going to happen. And Johnson had a poor game the other day. So I got a funny feeling it's going to be Rice that's going to be played at centre back alongside Dawson. I don't think we're going to change shape. And obviously we've got the complication of on the Thursday, we've obviously got the semi-final first leg against Eintracht Frankfurt, whereas Chelsea are now out of, and this is not me trying to be, sort of like get one up on Chelsea. Chelsea are now out of Europe. So this is all they've got to concentrate on for now, until obviously the FA Cup final rolls around. So until that sort of comes on the horizon, they can just basically concentrate on league. We don't have that as a luxury. My heart says that we're capable of maybe sort of squeezing out a draw. My head says something different. My head says we're probably going to come unstuck, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 2-0 reverse. And I hope I'm wrong, but it wouldn't shock me.
So are you going with your head or your heart?
I'm gonna my head has to rule. My head has to rule.
So Chelsea win.
I'm going a 2-0 win, and I hate it, but
I
just think we've
mean,
got too many disadvantages. Like I say, I think we've obviously got the game on Thursday that we're going to be keeping an eye on. You know, no matter what they say, that there's going to be players even subconsciously keeping an eye on that game. And I'm not saying they're going to be pulling out a 50-50s left, right, and centre, but do you know what I mean? It's natural.
You know where the attention is.
Yeah, European semi-final. It does supersede this game. It doesn't matter what you say; it just does.
And I agree.
Like I say, Diop's out, Zuma's out, Ogbonna's out. You're probably going to have to play your best player. I mean, I know it's the position that he came through the academy, and that, you know, Declan Rice was a centre back by trade that was pushed forward by Pellegrini into midfield. So it's a role he's played before, but he hasn't played it for an awfully long time. But I just, like I say, we've just got so many things on our plate at the minute. I'm not trying to make excuses. They're reasons, they're facts. You know, the players are injured. We have got a European semi-final. Chelsea can concentrate on the league until the cup final rolls around. We don't have that as a luxury.
No, that's fair point. Fair point. I mean, Chris, Rob's pretty much said it there, hasn't he? That West Ham are not just going to have one eye on the semi-final. Ideally, you know, that this game is a case of just get through this unscathed and I've got a chance of playing in it.
Yeah, you could have said the same about Leicester, though. I mean, you know, because we've got a semi-final next week as well. But, you know, I think the difference is that we've actually not got a decent, you know, not got a half bad squad at the moment. You know, you look at our subs bench now that everybody is sort of coming back fit. You know, I mean, back in sort of, you know, November, we had like, you know, we had 2 goalkeepers on the bench at one point with that short of players. Now we're getting them all back, and we've got the privilege that, you know, in the last 3 games we've played different centre backs. You know, pairing A for game 1, B, and then back to A again. I haven't been able to do that. I didn't know we'd got 4 centre backs still, but you know, but. West Ham are disappointing me a little bit, and I'm not having a dig at Rob here, but Rob knows my feelings about West Ham. You know, I was surprised how well they did last season. I thought they were just going to go, you know, this season they just go back to the normal relegation fight. They've not. Moyes is doing a fantastic job there. You know, at one point, you know, they were challenging for Champions League. I mean, you know, this time last season, Leicester were getting called bottlers for dropping out the top 4. So I don't know what that says about West Ham, Man United, and Arsenal. But I do like West Ham, and I do wish that they could, you know, just get their form back and get back into, you know, those top positions again. I'd love them to do it. I really would. I mean, West Ham are. Can't find you. 13th in the form table. Chelsea, I mean, they've slipped down to 5th. But this is, you know, there's something about, for me, you know, when teams from the same place sort of play each other, it just adds a little bit extra to it. And, you know, you don't know with Chelsea, you know, I mean, look at this. Who'd have said that Arsenal would have beaten them 4-2? Nobody, come on, you know. I've actually, what did I go for here? I actually went for a draw, and I think West Ham will get a draw. And I hope they do, and I hope they go on and end the season well and get into that. Well, maybe it might be hard. Top 4 might be asking a bit much, but certainly get that 5th or 6th again. And I hope they do it, because, like I say, it breaks the monopoly of the big clubs.
Not fair shout. I'm just looking at that, actually, that Chelsea's last 2 home games have resulted in conceding 4 goals. So
yeah, that's the one thing that does give me a little bit of
a little bit of optimism that they're a bit more open at home potentially. You know what, Chris? I think you might be onto something with a draw, and I just think that, as you saw there, will Chelsea want to, put in a performance after such a horrible loss to Arsenal, potentially?
Thing is, they're not going. If they win, what have they got to play for? If they are literally 14 points behind Liverpool, and they are 5 points ahead of Spurs, so the probably third place is pretty much theirs. Nothing, there's really nothing to play for.
Yeah. You know what? I can't shake the fact that you've got that semi-final, and I think that for me is the priority over this fixture. So as much as I think, Chris, you've probably got a point that a draw, and as Rob said, it'd snap your hand off for that now. I need the points on the predictions league, so I'm going for Chelsea win.
Got to be done.
I don't know. You're just a prediction whore, aren't you?
Oh, just drop it to a whore. Scott says Chelsea are finally living up to Abramovich spending. Open wallet. Fair assessment. But yeah, Chelsea for me. Kate went for a West Ham win.
Ooh.
Kate went for a West Ham win. See, she knows her stuff.
Good girl.
I'll say it same when it's not just bubbles she's blowing later on. Hey!
Easy.
Hey! Did it. More joking. Yeah, that's me when she goes, not tonight. Oh, fingers are tapping. Expect a comment.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Should be going with your heart instead of chasing the win. Fair point. On to the next one, the Merseyside Darby. Now, a lot of people, Gatesy, say that this one, form goes out the window. Liverpool are just too strong this year, surely. Everton are just piss poor.
Yeah, again, I'm looking at the Premier League form. Liverpool, win, draw, win. Everton, loss, win, draw. I mean, they were absolutely devastating against Manchester United was it Tuesday night, wasn't it? They were absolutely devastating. I know you can turn around and say that Manchester United weren't up to much, and that is true, but they still had to go out there and put the goals away, and it was men against boys. I don't see that this is going to be much different. In fact, I actually think the scoreline is going to be exactly the same, 4-0 Liverpool.
Fair one. Chris, do you echo that one?
Liverpool.
Yeah, you can't look any further, can you?
No.
Can't look any further. I'll tell you what, if Everton gets something out of this...
How many?
This is one of those where I expect Everton fans to write stupid shit on Twitter, like, oh, if we beat these, I'll get a tattoo of Lampard's face on my arse or my leg or something stupid like that. But I totally agree. I just think Liverpool are too strong. They are fighting for this, for the title, as well as everything else that they've got. Kate went with Liverpool as well. And Chris, again. As a child, I watched Mary Poppins so many times. I suffer from a condition with my sight. Undeniable.
Come on. You like that one. Come on. You can't deny it.
Could I just say that 6:30 is the best time on a clock, hands down?
For a minute, I thought, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think this is full house for this. Full house for Liverpool. Liverpool gets in the bag over Everton.
That one.
And if anything, Liverpool could do Burnley a favour by knocking their goal difference drastically.
Yeah.
So I really bloody hope so.
Don't be surprised. I can see it being, I just think Liverpool will just score as many as they want to.
You'd like to hope so. I don't want any of this flaming or once we get to 5, let's call it a day. Oh, I'll take that. Pardon me, I'd take that. But
well, they've already
we'll
got a worse goal difference than you guys, haven't they? Because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
minus 19. So if it was a 4-0, well, that'd take them to minus 23. That's massive.
Scott says, "Come on, Everton." Scott, come on. Gone down in my estimation, boy. What you doing? You're playing at. Keep that sort of slander off this channel, you mug.
Don't you be picking on the Leicester fans now. Come on.
Oh, look, Scott, he wants you back. He wants you back. He wants you to be his best mate again.
Want you back for good. Whatever I do.
Yeah, whatever Chris says, whatever he does, he don't mean it. Two teams that don't mean it. Palace and Leeds. Leeds could potentially be dragged back into it as well with their running. They've still got Chelsea, Arsenal, City, and a few other big names to play. Palace on the beach now, Rob?
I guess we'll find out with this match because obviously they're out of the cup now. Just looking at their last 6, was it defeat, win, draw, or the other way round? That was whereas Leeds is defeat, win, draw, win. I'm kind of favouring Leeds. I think you might be onto something. I think maybe sort of Palace will sort of like they'll be on the beach a little bit. I've got a funny feeling that Leeds, because Leeds are still. I mean, where are Leeds at the minute? They're 16th, so they're still in and around the danger zone. So I think they need this more than Palace, and I think that could be the deciding factor here. So I'm going to go Palace 1, Leeds 2.
Ooh, interesting. Kate's gone with Palace. Gatesy's gone with Leeds. Chris, how do you see it?
That's me. I was hoping Palace would get into the final, the FA Cup final, because again, like I've always said, makes a change to see these clubs, come in doing well. Vieira's surprised me this season. I thought he would struggle. He did all right, but again, they've had that tail off that these teams seem to have done. It's at the start of the season they were up in the top half. How much is it you get for each place you finish in? Is it 5 million it goes up for each place, or 2? I'm not sure what it is.
I'm not sure. I can't remember what. There's a certain position where it jumps from like a certain amount to like quite high.
Yeah. If I was Vieira now and I was Palace, I would want. I mean, the 14th, but I would want to finish in the top half.
Yeah,
and I don't care if you're 11th. I mean, just being on that top half on Match of the Day when they show the top half of the table, and you see your team there rather than on the second slide. It means a lot. I could be totally wrong with this, and it could be a boring 0-0. I'm not convinced by Leeds. I'm not convinced by the new manager. He's had a bit of a bounce, but I am going to go with the Palace win here.
Palace win. Interesting. I'll call it as I thought it. I'm going to go straight down the middle. I'm going to go for a draw. I think as much as Palace will be on the beach, being at home at Selhurst Park, having the crowd behind them will be great. Leeds are fighting, but I don't know. There's something about Leeds again where their style of football just works against certain teams, and against others it just doesn't. It sort of seem to fold. But yeah, so I'm going to go for a draw on this one. Static's in the chat. He says, "Hey Dan and panel, so hope you're well, Static."
Hi, Static.
Thank you for tuning in. He says, "Well done on winning against Southampton. Oh, we needed it, mate. We definitely needed it." Kate's called me a bore. I mean, I've been called worse, I suppose, by her. I get kisses, though. That's nice.
Aww.
That's nice. So I get slagged off, and then I get loved. Love it. I'll take it.
Tony Beetle walks into a pub and asks, "Is this stall taken?"
Say that
Sorry.
again.
Dung beetle walks into a pub and asks,
dung
is this
beetle,
stall
right, sorry.
taken?
I didn't hear what you said. Walked in.
Who started these sort of one-liners? It was you, wasn't it, Chris?
No, it was Doug actually, but usually me and Doug are battling it out. But I think he's
Bashing it out, are you?
on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, battling, not
that
bashing.
rumour.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different show. That's a different show. That's pre-recorded, is that one? Moving on then to the next one, and it's the final prediction. Manchester United versus Chelsea. I know it shows Wembley in the background. I don't know why. For some reason, when I had it smaller, I thought it were Old Trafford. And I couldn't find an image like I could for that one. So I just had to go with what Google gave me. So Manchester United, Chelsea. Rob, another win for Chelsea? I mean, or do you see United being at Old Trafford potentially getting something? I mean, this is the sort of game where United need to up the levels, especially if they want to compete for top four.
Yeah, I mean, they lost obviously against Liverpool. I've predicted them to go to the Emirates and get beat. I'm not too sure that they're going to get beat at home by Chelsea, but I'm not entirely sure that Chelsea are going to have enough to beat them either. I think this is going to be a game where they cancel each other out. I got a feeling it's going to be a score draw, 1-1.
Ooh. You know what, Chris? I'll give you that one. I like that one. When I was reading it, I chuckled. I like that one.
Oh, we chuckle brothers. To me, to you. Oh no, you
You're
can't.
dead. You're the dead
no,
one.
It's to
You're
me,
the dead
to
one.
Me, to me.
Kate says she's gone with Manchester United. Nippon, Chelsea fan, says draw. So, and Scott is of the same thinking, Man United, Chelsea draw. Chris, how do you see it?
I did a podcast, well, you were on it as well until you disappeared, with Brad the other night. And we were talking about which teams' fans are the most whingers. I can't remember what word he used now.
Yeah, who has the more fickle fan base, he said, didn't he?
No, fickle. Well, you get what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it was a very close run thing between Man United and Arsenal. They both think they are better than they are at the moment. They both have this thing that we should be better than we are at the moment because of what we've done in the last, few years. And I think, Rich always used to say, people, we live rent free in Man United fans' heads. No, we don't. We just all hate Man United that much that we want to see you lose and burn, and you had a excellent manager for however many years it was. Fergie made you one of the best clubs, if not the best club in Europe overall. You won everything. But before Fergie, you were nothing. You were just an Arsenal or a Tottenham like they are at the moment. It's only Fergie, and you have gone through how many managers trying to get that back. And it took Liverpool 30 years to get back to where they'd been. Pre-Man United, Liverpool were the team. And I think it could be longer for Man United, to be honest with you. They're changing the manager again at the end of the season. They've got players. Well, I mean, Norwich. I mean, they were lucky to beat Norwich. If it wasn't for Ronaldo, they would have lost that game. Liverpool could have scored another 3 or 4 goals if they'd really sort of wanted to. They could have been bothered, to be honest with you. I just can't stand Man United. I really want them to fail miserably. I've gone for a Chelsea win because I want Chelsea to beat them.
Oh, that's interesting. As this talk of Fergie just reminds me of that joke. What do Man United, the Black-Eyed Peas and Prince Andrew have in common? They're all fucked without Fergie. So...
Do you know, I was worried where that was going to go.
I was, to be honest with you.
I thought, uh-oh.
When old Andrew came up at the end. No, am I the only one here that actually loves to see Man United fail?
No.
No,
No,
definitely not.
exactly. I'm just, I'm sorry. I mean, Niall said to me, he said, "Why do I
Man
hate?"
United fans secretly like it because it gives them something to moan about.
Yes,
They will never admit it.
I mean, it's absolutely. Oh, it was so funny because we went on after the the Liverpool game, just to go on to the Man United channels, and they just bite so easily. You say something, and it's just. I mean, I don't know what's more fun, watching Man United lose or Arsenal lose, because you're going to get entertained on both sets of channels afterwards.
That's true. That's true. Nip and ask, Chris, who do you hate more, Man United or Spurs?
Man United.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a difficult one for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rob, that is a difficult one.
Tottenham are more of a bogey team for us, but I've got to hate Man United more.
Yeah, I'm obviously being a West Ham fan. I'm probably going to just shade towards Tottenham.
Nippon, just a quick question. I did ask you this on your channel the other night. No team has ever lost 3 cup finals on the trot. Good luck, mate.
Rob, who did you go for again? Sorry,
me.
What?
Yeah, who did Rob go for?
Oh.
I went 1-1.
1-1, straight down the middle.
Yeah. I think they're just going to cancel each other out.
And Chris went for Chelsea.
I did. You may have noticed that.
This is a tough one. This is a very tough one. As you say, but both Chelsea and Manchester United coming off the back of 4 goals being put past them. You know what? I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. I'm going to go for a Chelsea.
I think the Chelsea manager's got more about him than whatever is, Wreck-It Ralph.
I mean, I don't mean to say this in the way I'm saying it, but we understand the reasons. Ronaldo won't be part of the squad. We understand the reasons because of that.
Of course we do.
And these are the sort of games where, Manchester United would rely on someone like Ronaldo to be, a big part of getting the club over the line and getting a result against Chelsea. So for that reason alone, and the fact that they've got Harry Maguire at the back, I'm going for Chelsea.
It was good when we sold him.
It was good when we sold him.
Did you hear about this thing about he had some people sort of bomb threats at his house or something?
Yeah.
Much.
But did you not hear about what fans were saying afterwards? They were saying something to do with, it's a publicity stunt. Certain people were saying alarm. Like, surely he wouldn't go that far.
No, I can't see that.
No. I mean, I can understand him coming out saying I'm the best defender at Manchester United. That's pulling people's pisses. But a bomb scare is taking the piss.
Yeah, I can't see that would have been.
It's explosive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Christopher, bloody hell. However,
I'd go out with a bang.
Scott asked Scott asked this one, but who do you hate more, Watford or Norwich?
Neither. I said earlier, Scott, I don't hate. It's not the clubs I hate.
And I don't know what Niall's been drinking. Probably pond water or something like that. 2-0 Man United versus Arsenal. God, he's got the glory years on or something, and he's watching old YouTube videos going, I reckon this is 2-0. Even though score lines underneath.
Who's when Man United playing Arsenal? Oh, right at the top. My God, that was like an hour and a half ago. Bloody hell.
Scott says, now what are you drinking, mate?
Hang on. Niall, just go through 19 predictions now. We'll just sit here and wait for you, mate.
Oh, fun times. Times indeed.
It's gone 9 o'clock, so I can probably come out with this one-liner. It's a bit dark. Build a man a fire, he'll be warm for a day. Set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. It's a bit dark, I know, but...
Hey, not wrong with that. Not wrong with that. That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
I'm sorry. It deserved one
I'm
of them.
I'm sure we've all got worse in our locker, but for YouTube, we will keep it as it is. Nippon says the Scousers were unbearable after that League Cup. There will be a nightmare if they beat us in the FA Cup too. Well, they probably will. Simple as that. I think Liverpool, if they want to keep that running and keep that fight going to win the Premier League, they've got to go out there and try and win every game, keep momentum on a high.
Yep.
So why not? However, that being said, that is the fixtures of match week 34. And you know what? You two legends have absolutely been brilliant. It's been a laugh. Rob, I'll come to you first. Thank you very much for coming on. I've really enjoyed it. And it's great to get you on the channel as well. That's two people today. I took their Turf Morehouse virginity. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. Please do go and plug your socials again while you're at it.
Thank you very much. So obviously the YouTube channel is Forged from Iron West Ham United. We're on Facebook, Forged from Iron West Ham United as well. Twitter, it's at Forged Talk. Instagram is Forged from Iron, and we've even got a TikTok page, Forged from Iron, as well. So if you'd like to give us a subscribe and follow us on our social media platforms, we'd be very grateful. Thank you for listening.
Great stuff. Thanks for coming on as well. Really does mean a lot. And Chris, as ever, plug away that glorious Leicester channel of yours.
I'm on here probably just as much, but Instagram, Leicester Till I Die 1, Twitter at Leicester TID. I've got a TikTok, but I don't really do much on it. I put 4 on it to get it going. It's still got.
He does all these
dances. Do funny little dances.
Well, I haven't got time because I'm always watching so many capes that I've got time to do my own. No, and
he thought about it and then realised, shit, hold on, if DWP get hold of my TikTok account, I'm not doing these dances on here.
Yeah, and it's Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube, and we do a lot of non-Leicester stuff as well.
No, definitely. So please do go check Chris's channel out. In fact, Chris is also doing a watch along for the Tyson Fury fight tomorrow.
I am.
So if you are interested, get on over there. I will also be there. So there you go, Chris. I have confirmed I am in.
I was just going to say, I thought you were going. Weren't you going? Or
no. I did get offered a ticket to go, but but it was just the whole cost of the full day, as well as the ticket. Just yeah. You're talking a month's rent before you even bloody, before you've even seen the fight, and it could last 2 minutes. So
or your gas bill.
The way it's going, I
will leave you with this one though. Do you know the animal that kills the most people in the world?
Who's that?
Hepatitis B.
Oh, for God's sake! Oh no.
Fair play. You know what? You two have been absolutely incredible. Everybody in the chat, you have also been remarkably impeccable as always. Thank you for everyone watching on this Friday night, for giving us your time, and hopefully we've cheered you up and put a smile on your face, even if Chris's joke book is from the 1920s.
That recent.
Good jokes last forever, mate.
Well, I'll see you on YouTube.
You've still got a pair of flares then, Chris?
Sorry?
You have, haven't? I bet you've still got a pair of flares, haven't you?
I loved the 70s, mate. I was in tears when that Punk came along. Yeah, you spent a fortune on platform shoes. Why? Because your flares covered them. I mean, what was the point? You
got the sort of like the hang glider collars as well.
Oh yeah, the big collars around and the kipper ties, and I just watched the Sweeneys to remember what I used to wear. That was all them times. The big lapels on the jackets. That
Chris
was me.
walks around his house, not in slippers, but in moon boots.
I couldn't walk in them. That was the trouble.
Could be worse. Could be Crocs.
It could be worse. Yeah, it could be worse.
That is true.
Good
I do.
Other day. My mate had some on the other day, and he says, right, he said, when they're forward, I'm wearing them for pleasure. He says, when I put them back, it's because I wear them for business. I'm like, honestly, madness. I don't understand why anybody would.
Don't you just love people that wear Crocs in the sun, because you know when they get home and they take them off what the sunburn's going to be on their foot.
Looked like a Swiss cheese, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Scott says, "Oh dear, the commentary tomorrow night could be interesting. It's all downhill before it starts."
Yes.
It might be. It might well be, but it's going to be an interesting part. So please do head on over to Chris's channel, where we will be doing, as I say, a watch along for the Tyson Fury Dillian White fight at 10 o'clock. So be there or be square. Thank you again to the two above. Absolutely amazing. Please do check out their links in the description below. For that, it's now just short of 11 o'clock. Well, 15 minutes away from 11 o'clock. Why not have a go through your socials after watching this, and then get yourselves off to bed, all set for a nice, lovely Saturday. Take care, all the best, and we'll speak to you guys soon.